Okay. Hello. This is Young Family Tai Chi long form, section 2. And today we're going to do a quick review of Embrace Tiger, Return to Mountain. And then we're going to spend most of the time on fist under elbow. So I'm going to turn around and we're going to do Embrace Tiger, Return to Mountain first. So we're at cross hands. So Embrace Tiger, Return to Mountain. Shift right. Left foot turns to the corner as you turn. Well, it's inside corner, but less than straight. And the weight is in the front. Then as you shift back, you separate your hands. And you, so now your weight is on the left. Then you pull in the right and step out to almost to corner as you swing, step, brush, strike, roll back, circle your arms as your weight goes back, and then turn to the side. Press, pull in the right, attach the left, and press forward, lining up with your front foot. Push, square up your shoulders, flatten your hands, come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest, and push forward. Okay, let's do that one more time. Cross hands, shift to the right, turn the left foot past the corner, but before straight, shift the weight back, separate your hands, pull in the right foot, swing, step, brush, strike, roll back, circle your arms as your weight goes back, and then turn to the side. Press, pull in the right, attach the left, press forward, push, square up your shoulders, flatten your hands, come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest, and push forward. Okay, so for fist under elbow, I'm going to move over a little bit so you can see it better. If we're going from push, I'm going to do the whole move just so you can see it, okay? So what happens is you are going to shift your weight back and flatten your hands. This is going to feel just like single whip. And you're going to pull and turn. And your right foot goes to 12 o'clock. And your hands go to the corner. Then you come back, press down. And then instead of forming a hook, your left hand is ward off just like before, but you're going to push out. Then you're going to pull in the left and step one line, two sides as you ward off. Then you're going to step and pull, come down, heel touch and punch. So to look at the footwork first. Okay, when you are here, you are in a bow stance that's where the front foot is just inside the corner. When you turn around to do this diagonal step, essentially you're going to pull your right, you're going to move the weight to the left foot and move the right to the straight. If you can't get it to the straight, it really doesn't matter that much in this case. You could be here, for example. And the reason is this is a transition step. If this were a final step and you were planting for the final ending move, then it would make much more difference. So this, try to make it straight, but it's not a huge deal. Then you shift your weight back, and then you pull in and step to the corner. And here you are one line, two sides. Okay, this is a transition step. So that should be easy. And in fact, if you didn't make it all the way here, it's even easier to do this step to the corner. Then the next part is you move your weight to the right, and then you make a parallel stance here. Now what happens is the right foot is going to become your back foot for a heel touch empty stance. So the positioning of this parallel stance is important, because what happens is you do not want it to be too wide. If you look below, what you want is you want a straight line to the side, and the toe of the left foot and the heel of the right foot are on either side of that line. Because what you're going to do next is you're going to move the weight to the back and you're going to pivot here. And you want it so that now you're in the position for an empty stance. And then at the end, you're going to have heel touch and 30%. So where you plant this foot determines how easy it is for you to do the next part. And in Tai Chi, we always try to think ahead and make sure that you get your hands and feet positioned before you're using it. Okay, so let's do that a couple of times. So you are in a bow stance. Maybe I should do it in a different direction if you think you can see better. I'm going to do it 180 degrees and see if you can see it better that way. Okay. So if I'm here and I turn, I'm trying to get to 12 o'clock. I switch back. I come in and I step out to the corner. Okay, one line, two sides. Then I step forward. So my feet are parallel, but if I drew a line here, my toe is on one side and my heel is on the other side. So that when I pivot, this would look like a ball touch empty stance, but the final is a heel touch. And I put 30% on it. Okay, so back in the direction in which you would be doing it would be this way. So here, bow stance, almost to the corner, shift back, turn the right foot to 12 o'clock, pivot, and step out, one line, two sides to the corner, step forward, feet parallel so that the toe and the heel are on either side of a line. Then pivot, and then switch to heel and put your 30% down. I know that it's easier to look at things piecemeal in some ways, but if you do it together with the hands, it makes more sense. Okay, so let's look at the hands now. Do you have any questions on the feet? It's okay. Let me, okay. So, let's look at the hands. So the way the hands work is that the beginning looks a lot like single whip. Okay, remember when you were at single whip, you were at push, and then as your weight came back, you flatten your hands, and then you had this pull and follow, and you moved your foot 135 degrees, then you pressed down, and the left hand formed ward off as the right hand made a hook. Then you stepped out. So here, what you're going to do is you're going to come back, you're going to pull, you're going to push down, and then you're making this ward off, but instead you're going to push out. Then what happens is if I were doing it in your direction, I mean the same direction as you, I would be coming back, I would be turning, pushing down, and then pushing out. Then instead of stepping out for a strike and a bow stance, I'm going to step out for a one line, two sides, and a ward off. So I'm going to have four things happening with the left hand here. I'm going to ward off. I'm going to grab. I'm going to pull. And then I'm going to push up. So that's the left hand. So let's do that again. Looking at the left hand. So when the left hand comes around, just like single whip, pressing down, making a ward off as this one pushes out. Then let's just look at the left hand here. As I step out, I ward off. Then I turn over and pull as I step. Then, as with body turning, I pull down as I pivot the left foot. And then as I come up, I switch to heel touch. So let's do that again. So if we're here, we flatten, we come around, okay? And then you press down and you make your ward off shape here as you push out. Then you put your weight on the right and you step out to the corner as you ward off. So you're meeting your opponent as you step out. Then as you turn over to grab, you move your right foot behind, parallel to the left. Then as you pull, you're pulling with the waist. Can you see my waist moving? And as I come down, I switch my footwork and come up. So if I were to do it the other direction, if I am here, I'm coming back, turning, pressing down, ward off with the left, push out with the right, step out and ward off, step and turn. Using my waist, I'm pulling as I pivot the left foot, change my footwork and push up. So what am I doing? When I ward off and I meet my opponent and I pull, essentially it's like I'm pulling like this. Then as I come down, what I'm doing is I'm forcing my opponent's elbow up. And what that does is it opens up this side so that I can punch. Okay, so this comes around, it comes around, forcing your opponent's elbow up, opening up the side so that you can punch. So if you look at, let me do it from this direction, maybe you see better. So here, so remember with single whip, you went from one side and then you went 180 degrees to the other side. Well, you're doing the same thing here. You're pushing here and essentially you're doing 180 degrees because when you hit that diagonal corner, you come back and you press down. Then you form your ward-off shape on the left and drop your elbow and push out. Then you pull in the left foot, all your weight is on the back now, and you step and ward off. Then as you turn, you're gonna start pulling, right? So your feet are parallel now, and then your body turns as you pivot the left foot. So when you get down here, you make your fist with the right. And then change your footwork, punch and lift. So remember when I showed you this part, as I'm lifting, then I punch. So if I were facing you, what it would look like is here, I'm coming down. And then as I lift up, I punch. Can you see my hands are kind of in the center of my body? It's called fist under elbow, but it's actually fist under your opponent's elbow. So my opponent's elbow is up here and I'm punching, right? So it's also under my elbow in this plane, but it's not like here. You see what I'm saying? So it's here. So you're lifting and punching, and your fist face is kind of toward that way, right? You're punching the side of the person. So if you look at the right hand, which is much simpler, because if I'm doing it in the direction you would be doing it, I'm flattening it. I'm doing just like single whip, except when I get here, I push out. Then as my left hand is doing all this other stuff, my right hand is just standing there. When it comes down, then I make this fist. And then, well, I'll show you. And then I punch. So if I'm doing it from this direction, you can see better. Okay, So I come around and I turn, okay, and this goes to the corner. I come back, ward off with the left, push out with the right. Step, one line, two sides as I ward off. Step as I start grabbing. Then pulling as I pivot on the left foot. My right hand isn't doing much yet. When my left hand gets toward the bottom, then I make my fist. Then lift, punch. So here, let's say I'm here. So when I'm coming here, lift, punch. Any questions on that one? It's complicated primarily because you're doing so much turning. So when you come around, let's see if I can show you here, okay, turn, pull, coming around, press down, ward off with the left, push out, step. You see, my right hand is not dropping. I'm staying pretty much up here. Then as I'm pulling, turning, and then pulling up with the left and forming that fist. When I change my footwork and I punch, I have the slightly forward feeling. You see what it's forward and it's punch to the side. Imagine punching to the side of that person. Looks good. Yes, you're doing this pulling up. So when you're here, so your fingertips are kind of up because you're imagining that you're pulling this other person up. So the part that you have to show here is you're pulling, you're pressing down, you're warding off with the left as you push off with the right. Then you have to do a ward off, a grab, a pull, and a lift up as you punch. So your hand is kind of rotating in order to show all those things. So here, pull, press down, ward off, and then you pursue the ward off with your footwork. So when you step out, you are warding off. You don't start turning over until you step. Pull, push up, and punch. Let's look at the footwork, because here, if I'm doing push and I come back, my right foot goes to the straight. I'm coming back and pushing out. Then when I do my ward off, I'm stepping out. So this is a step out and ward off at the same time. Then grab as I transfer my weight to the left. Pull and turn my left foot. Lift and punch. Okay, so it's important that you coordinate the step with the ward off. When you're here, ward off, step. Here, as you're pulling down, you're pivoting because you're turning your body here, and you step up. Now, one of the things is that it looks like you're going to have your body straight on to the side, but that's not actually what happens, because when you step here, okay, and you start turning, when you step here, your body automatically starts turning, right? Then as you come here, you're pivoting the left toe and changing your footwork. So you're actually still not 45 degrees, but a little bit toward the corner, as opposed to being straight on this way. And the reason is, if you were too much one way or the other, it disadvantages one of your two hands. Okay, so if you're too much to the right, that doesn't help your punching. If you're too much to the left, then it doesn't help your pulling. You're pushing out. So one of the things that often happens is that people get to this here and step, and they come out too far. And the reason you don't want to come out too far is to allow your turn to do this push. If you are out here, if I'm from this angle, if I've just to here, then I step and I turn over my hand. Then I'm going to come here and come up. So I do not want you to come out here. All you need to do is come this far, because that allows your shoulder to help you make that lift up. If you're too far out, then your shoulder is already extended and you can't use it to help you do that lift. So once again, if we're doing the push, then we come back, turn, right foot goes to the straight, and hands go to the corner, press down, ward off with the left, push out with the right. Then step and ward off to the corner. Turn over as you're grabbing, start pulling. Then as you come down, make your fist, pivot your left foot, come up and punch. This is a heel touch empty stance. Any questions?
So I was totally doing that wrong because I was more concerned about getting this fist going.
The fist is late.
Yeah, and instead of worried about this grab.
Yeah. See, the left hand has a lot more working because it has to grab, pull, lift. So it's warding off, grab, pull, and lift. And all the left hand has, all the right hand has to do is make a fist and then punch at the end.
At the end, yeah, it's more like that. I always thought it was more about this right hand. So thank you.
No.
Let me turn myself off again. Oh.
Okay, so let's practice it a few more times, okay? So I'm going to go the same direction as you. And then we're at push. Flatten your hands as your weight comes back. Turn and pull. Right foot goes to the 12 o'clock. Hands go to the corner. Press down and ward off with the left. Push out with the right. Then step out to the corner and ward off with the left. Grab as you step. Pull and turn. Pivot the left foot. Pull up, lift up, and punch. Okay, let's do a few more times and then we'll do it from the beginning of second section. Push, shift weight back, flatten your hands, turn and pull. Right foot goes to the straight, hands go to the corner. Press down, ward off with the left, push out with the right. Step and ward off to the corner. Grab and step, pull and turn your left ball. Lift, change your footwork and punch. So you're lifting and punching at the same time. Okay? So putting that 30% in your heel touch is what kind of gives you that extra energy for your punch, for that lift and punch. So you're actually making a lot of circles, because if you're looking at it from this angle, if I'm showing it from, let's say I stepped here. Okay. Then, so I'm here. Step. Pull down. Then, so I'm making a little circle here. Can you see this? So here, and then a little circle back in order to do that pull up. Okay, so from here, when I've pushed out, you are cheating on the circle of the pull down. So from this angle, if I am from here, I'm warding off. Grab, pull. See, come down and pull up. Because think of it this way. So you're here. So I'm coming down pretty far. I'm almost down to my hip, right? And then I'm coming back up. So here, grab. So it's a pretty big circle, actually. So resist the temptation to pull your elbow in. So when you're coming here, instead of pulling your elbow in, make the rest of that circle and come up. There is a lot of waist turn because if I'm doing the same direction as you, I am pushing. Then I come back, pull and turn to the corner, press down, ward off with the left, push out with the right. Step and ward off to the corner. Grab, pull, and pivot on the left foot. Come up and punch. So as you're coming up, here. So you're here, pivot. As you're coming up, you change your footwork, and then your 30% and your punch all come together. Can you see that? It's kind of an unusual move in that I don't think we do this anywhere else in the form where you come around and then come up again, you know? Most of them are like circling horizontally, you know, not so much like that. So let's do it one more time and then let's do it from cross hands. Okay, so we're at push. Shift weight back, flatten your hands. Pull and turn. Right foot to the straight. Push down. Ward off with the left. Push out with the right. Step out to the corner and ward off. Step and grab. Turn and pull, pivoting the left foot. Change your footwork and punch and put that 30% in the front. How does that feel? I think you're doing a lot better in terms of getting your hand, you know, around and yes. Just as you're coming up, make that fist and come up.
I'm going to try to avoid even thinking about my right hand at all, just my left hand. And then eventually, when I get the left hand going, then I'll add in the right hand with the punch.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, let's try it from cross hands then, okay? Cross hands. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Shift to the right. Turn the left foot past the corner, but before straight. Shift your weight back. Separate your hands. Pull in the right. Swing, step to the almost to the corner. Brush, strike. Roll back. Circle your arms as your weight goes back. Turn to the side. Press. Pull in the right, attach the left, press forward. Push. Square up your shoulders in the direction of the front foot. Flatten your hands. Come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest, and push to shoulder level. Fist under elbow. Shift weight back. Flatten your hands. Pull and turn. Right foot goes to the straight. Hands go to the corner. Press down. Ward off with the left. Push out with the right. Step and ward off to the corner. Step and grab. Pull and turn. Pivot the left foot. Make your fist come up and strike. Good. Okay, let's do it one more time and then we'll close class. How about that? Cross hands. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Shift right. Turn the left foot past the corner. Shift weight back. Separate your arms. Pull in the right. Swing, step. Brush. Strike. Roll back. Circle your arms. Shift weight back and turn to the side. press. Pull in the right, attach the left, and press forward. Push. Square up your shoulders, flatten your hands, come back over a ball, hands in front of your chest, push up to shoulder level. Fist under elbow, shift weight back as you flatten your hands. Turn and pull, right foot goes to the straight, hands go to the corner, press down, ward off with the left, push out with the right. Step out as you ward off, grab and step, pull, turn, pivot, make your fist, heel touch, 30% as you punch and lift. Okay? Well, thank you very much for coming to class and see you next week.
Next week I'll be out of town, so I'm going to hope to get to the hotel before the class starts. We'll see how that all works.
Okay,
All right.
sounds great.
All
I'll
right.
see you then.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.